Hello guys, it's Luis here and I'm here to show you the trades that I did this week. So the market opened in the Sunday and I start to trade in Sundays and go until approximately Wednesday. So today I'm recording this in Tuesday and I already finished all the tradings that I should do following my strategy. So I am already in retirement, in a small vacation for the rest of the week. So I'll be sharing my screen with you so you can see with me how was the trades, how much I made in this week and what happened, and to see if you can understand a little bit about my trading strategy, and we can follow up in the next videos about this. So let's get started. Well, firstly, let's start with gold. So the market opened in here and I made this first channel where I was trying to understand what was happening. This wasn't a really small channel. Usually I go for around 500 points, but this channel was with approximately 800 points. So we started with our neutral channel and I was waiting for any signals, and as you can see we got the first signal of the C1, which is the first cycle of trading, and as you can see it was pointed in here, and the target usually is exactly the reflection of the first channel. So our entry was here and we left in here. I didn't do this trade, as you can see. Why I didn't do it? I didn't do it because I usually don't do this first trade. So when I show you the next trades, you see that I usually don't enter in the first cycle. I usually enter in the second and third cycles. And as you can see, because of timing, I wasn't able to enter the second cycle. So as you can see, the C2 is in here. So when we broke the structure of the first cycle, we opened the second cycle, and usually we try to get the reflection of both the neutral channel and the first cycle. As you can see, it reversed and our stop loss should be around here, but as I lost the entry, I entered late, as you can see in here, betting in a reversal and that it would go back and hit the target in the cycle 2. However, it went against my trade, as you can see here, and I took a stop in here. This was a small stop. I only took a stop of, if I'm not mistaken, $17. And this was an entry for the third cycle. So as you can see here, usually what happens usually in the third cycle is almost 100% of the time, I would say 95% of the time, it goes to 50% of the third cycle, and I'd say approximately 70% of the time it goes to the 100% of the third cycle. However, to my trading strategy, I prefer to try to get the 100% of the third cycle because I don't like to increase the risk in my tradings. So as you can see, all the cycles, each time it is double the last cycle. So as you can see in here, in the second cycle, it was 1600 points, and if we look in the third cycle, we can see that it is 3,382 points. And what this makes is that I can, for example, if I get a loss in the C2, when I make an entry for the third cycle with the same risk, I can receive double the amount of money that I lost. So I would always make a profit even if I take 2 or 3 stops in sequence. If I want more assertivity, for example, I should try to get to the third cycle in the 50%, and I would have hit it in here. However, I wouldn't keep the risk, so I would need to double the amount of risk that I'm getting to reach half of the target, and thus take back the amount of money that I lost, and also make some profit. And as you can see, I didn't enter in here because it was around 4 a.m. when I got this signal. So I was with my stop loss position, and I was taken out of the trade, and I was sleeping at the time. So what I did was, as it was already late to enter the trade, I was waiting. And as you can see in here, I entered again because it reversed, and the same idea I did here in the second cycle, I did here in the third cycle, and I was waiting. However, the market wasn't moving anything, and gold this week is extremely bad. It's not moving like it always do. So I thought it would be better to protect myself, and I set my stop loss to my entry point just to see if it would reverse or if it would take my leave. And as you can see, it continued in this area and reversed to my stop loss. So I left the trade without anything. So as you can see, in this scenario, I just lost $17 in the trading gold in here. Then I also did the trades in USD JPY, and here is where the market was open. And as you can see, I created the neutral channel in here. So we started mapping the flow, and we created the first cycle. So the signal for the first cycle was here, and as you can see, we reached 156 points in here. However, I usually don't get this first cycle. So what I did was waiting for the second cycle. So the entry point for the second channel was in here, but I wasn't paying attention in it for the moment. So what I did was I just positioned an entry in here and waited for the price to go back to enter if it did. And it did get back to my entry. However, as you can see, it completely reversed. This isn't normal. This week was a hard week, and it's cool to show it to you. It isn't always easy when trading. So I took this loss, and I lost $146 in this trade. However, exactly when I was removed of the trade, as you can see in here, in the next candle, it created the third cycle. So what I did in here was I made my entry with the same risk I took in the second cycle. And my target was 100% of the third cycle. And as you can see here, it took my take profit, and I made here $212. So I lost 146 and I won 212. So I ended up with profit in this parity. And as you can see, in the same candle that took my take profit, it created the fourth cycle. So as you can see in here, this is the fourth cycle, and let me just create a line in here so you can see. And it got 50% of the fourth cycle, and we almost hit the 100%. So I think that in a little bit more of time, we will get 100% of the fourth cycle. However, I usually only trade the second and third cycle. It's really uncommon to trade the fourth cycle. And also in the euro dollar, as you can see in here, the market opened here. I created the neutral channel and I waited a little bit. It created the first cycle. So as you can see in the first cycle, it was created the signal in here. If we waited, it would take the 100% of the first cycle. with 80 points, and we could already leave like that if we take the first cycle. However, I usually enter the second cycle. The signal for the second cycle was in here, and as you can see, I did my entry in here. However, what happens is usually when I take the 50% of the cycle, I tend to move my stop loss to my entry point, so I don't have any more risk in the trade. And as you can see, I did this change and it reversed and took my stop loss in here. However, if I didn't had made this change, it's just a kind of protection that you can or cannot use. It's optional. I prefer to use because I think it's better to my operational. But as you can see, right after it took me out of the trade, it reversed it and got 100% of the second cycle, and it also started the third cycle. And as you can see, we also got 100% of the third cycle, as you can see in here. So it was a signal in here, and we got the 100% of the cycle in here. Okay, we have 390 points. And also it created in this same candle the fourth cycle, as you can see in here, and we are already surpassed the 50% of the fourth cycle, as you can see in here, and we are currently in support of the 50% of the fourth cycle. Probably in the next day, Wednesday, we will be reaching out to the 100% of the fourth cycle. And these were the trades that I did this week. As you can see, it was a kind of hard week. So I took 2 stop losses, but I was able to reverse. And one of the trades I was removed without neither gaining nor losing. And I finished the week with $49 in profit. It was a small profit. Usually it's more than that. However, the market wasn't moving as I expected, and it wasn't trending as usually do. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next weeks where I will share my next trades, and I hope you can start to use it to my trading strategy and understand what is happening. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Please like and subscribe, and also see the other videos recommended in the description for more information about trading. See you soon.